That's
Everybody
fine.
make weird noise.
Nappy, nappy.
Well, welcome back.
Made
One
it
of
to where
us
they
is
could see you
drowning.
just in time for that.
Oh no. Oh god.
Hey, I have my dice. You know what I don't have is my character sheet.
Wow.
Gods.
It's right
There
here.
are none.
It's right here. I did spill something on them, but
Neffy does not like
We're
when
I
okay.
I
feel
stick
so
my whole face in her
disrespected today,
ear.
Amos. Why would you do this?
Uh-oh.
I had to
I
test
got a
you.
notification. Mama Amos is
Hey,
going live.
Mama Amos is going live. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey guys, do you think we should go
Hey.
watch that stream instead of do this?
Yeah.
I don't think that'll work.
Good work, team.
Wonderful.
Glad we were all on the same dad joke page.
No.
Oh god.
Oh, John missed the joke that my coworker told.
Oh no.
Scared.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, how you feeling? He's like, oh, I'm just a little tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. I was like, oh no, what happened? It's like, well, I had a really weird dream. I dreamed that I was a muffler. Like, what do you dreamed that you were a muffler, like from a car? He's like, yeah, I dreamed I was a muffler. So as you can imagine, I'm pretty exhausted. But he said the entire thing with such sincerity. Like,
stupid ass.
See?
I just heard he
Now
was
you
setting
know
up
how
a
it
joke.
feels.
I was.
Oh, wait, are you
I
saying
was.
this is how I cause you to feel sometimes?
Yeah, it's not bad, but this is how I constantly am made foolish.
That's true. That's
with
like,
your deadpan
I was
sense of humor.
recently made aware of the fact that I was so deadpan.
I'm
in
not
my
gonna lie.
delivery
I was
that
sitting there
convinced-
going, "What? Where is this going? What?"
Yeah, no, I was once so deadpan in my delivery that I convinced Celeste that ladybugs cause hepatitis.
Yep,
What
that's
the
true. It was
fuck?
senior year of high
That's
school.
awful.
Because she was saying like
Only
ladybugs
for a
are one of the few insects that I don't have a
Why
problem
would you
with
do
because they're
that?
harmless, and I'm like, no, they cause hepatitis.
Poor Celeste. Oh,
They're like, oh no.
it's evil.
Yeah,
If
they
that were
said it
true-
so.
If that were true, everyone in our house would have had it.
Yep.
There's a cat that
Nothing
likes
might
you.
be stuck in my sleeve. Her claws might be stuck in my sleeve.
R.I.P. Neffy.
She lives here now. Oh god.
Ah!
She's fine.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not. Neffy's drunk. Go home, Neffy.
I've gathered you all here today.
Yeah?
Bum, bum, bum.
I,
Sure did do that.
I have trapped myself. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, who wants to recap?
Oh, fuck.
No, I'm touching my nose, I swear.
Uh-huh. I'm not
Well,
recapping.
Hang on. Well, I know that we know that like half of us can't. Okay.
Kane, I can't remember what happened last time. Please don't make me do it.
I got no. Okay, hang on. I think we can workshop this as a team.
Okay.
I believe in
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Team
So-
effort.
I know that the most immediate thing that we have today are we have to meet with a bone dragon.
Mhm.
I have an appointment with the professor of alchemy.
Wait, there's a bone dragon?
Yes.
And
Must have been something I missed.
That was
You
during
We
the
have to
session you
meet
were
the
gone.
away team.
we have to meet the expedition away team to swap notes on mutations and shit.
I remember our friend at the pet store now. That just
I
came
do
back
remember
to me.
that.
They were a delight.
And I got a thing for the baby to be out of water. Wait,
Yeah.
that's-
You got a necklace of air breathing.
Yeah, because you
Yes.
decided to adopt a fish with legs.
It's a cute fish with legs.
Legfish.
I was
You
about
put
to
it
say,
in
until
front
you
of
said
us.
with legs, I was like, there's a fucking fish tank in our kitchen right now. You don't get to sass people for adopting a fish.
You gotta see.
Blood god is more than a fish.
Hold on. Actually, I'm going to do that through my phone. Hold on.
Don't do disrespect, blood
Y'all
god.
So-
gotta see the baby. I got a picture of the
baby.
baby for my birthday. Well, not okay. It's not just the baby. Lilia's there too, and she's beautiful. But the baby.
Well, it's
I
good
have
to know what
seen
the
it.
priorities are. Yeah.
I posted it on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Yes.
get on Instagram very often.
I have not been on
Yeah.
Instagram this week, unfortunately. I need to.
I have
Yeah,
not
this
been
is
on very
new to
often.
me as
I have
well.
been lack, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I did.
Go. Where is?
While you're doing
If
that,
you post it in that chat, everyone will be able to see it.
Yeah. Where
well,
is that? How do I find that?
I sent it to you in Messenger.
No, the chat that we're in. Like.
Upper corner of the thingy.
Oh, I'm scared. I know, but I'm scared that it'll show.
Do you want me to post it?
Yes, please. Yeah,
Anyway,
that'll be
continue
easier.
to recap.
I don't know what the
Continue
stream
your-
will see if I click on.
Continue your recap.
So we
was
met back
menacing.
up after our first day of researching, and then
Yeah.
we made our plan. And our
The
plan
brothers went to
was
school.
yeah. Our plan was to go to the pet shop to meet Sola, who we all met Sola.
Solus.
Solus. Incomplete notes. We needed to go meet the librarian. The librarian, not the librarian.
Okay, I thought I heard that wrong.
We got to meet the away team. Fyodor is meeting with. Fyodor meets with Bill Nye at 3 p.m.
Right.
And then I just have a note that says Keeper, and then an arrow, and then Underworld. I don't remember
I
what that's
don't
about.
know. Oh, we have to ask them
Underworld?
about the sewer that Zarker went to.
Oh, okay. The reason I was about to express
Oh.
interest with that was because I went to a world that was under ours, but then I realized that is what that was. Oh my gosh!
It's the baby.
Look at that! Oh, and the background is gorgeous
It is.
too. Everything about this is wondrous.
Isn't it so
If
great?
you, what happens if you pull the red ribbon around her neck?
Her hand falls off.
That's what I was thinking.
Possible.
Yeah.
You don't know. You haven't seen it yet.
I think if Fyodor wanted to, he could do that with a ribbon.
I'm
There is a very
pretty
satisfying
sure.
She'll
pop.
start moving.
If you turn it enough times, it winds up, and then she has
It
to walk
winds up, and then
forward.
she just
Yeah.
does a little moving thing.
Just does a little dance.
If you pull it straight back, she makes her say a pre-recorded message.
And I did name the baby, but I was gonna let that come up later. So I just
Did
wanted
you,
it to be out there that I actually did it.
Did you guys
Excellent.
finish your recap, or did you ramble off random points that you guys couldn't remember?
No, I
for
think that's
just
pretty
a
much
second?
that's what a recap
We
is. for this
we
group.
set the plan, and then I
Yeah.
just read off the plan, and then we went to the pet shop. Did we do anything at the pet shop?
You
We
went
talked.
and you guys spoke with the pet shop guy. Originally, that was where you learned about, because you had asked about specifically the black dog
Yes.
that Zarker had seen. And he
Okay.
said he reminded you, he's like, the only thing I can think of that sounds anything like that, because he's an exotic pet guy, is this god was known to have his loyal hound, who sounds a lot like that description.
It like
'Cause-
takes away children or something like that.
It was turned into a boogeyman story that
Hmm.
if you were bad, he would steal children. And he said that his friend, who he gave the card for to Lilia, he said he knows the guy though. He said that that's not what happened. Is the children were placed with doppelgangers, and he was stealing the doppelgangers from people's houses, and they accused him of stealing their children.
Damn.
And then so he
Right.
got turned into a boogeyman.
I don't remember that information being clarified, but
Yeah, because he originally showed you like a children's book that had a page missing out of it
holy crap.
about it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you guys were at the college, and you got to meet. But yeah, your itinerary for the day, because you guys have made appointments, was you had agreed to go back and meet with the dragon in the library that the brothers
Yes.
have met. You, Fyodor, had an appointment to go meet with the alchemist again, because you were going to go talk to him
Yeah.
about some of the stuff. And
Swap
then-
notes, steal books.
Yeah, and
Not
then-
literally steal, but like
I was like, I wouldn't recommend it.
Get
It doesn't
intro-
go well.
just get the intro level materials. Ask the author for like to send you
The
the PDF
syllabus.
so that you don't have to pay the journal fees.
and then you guys wanted to meet with the expedition crew that came back today, which is why both the higher up professors at the college and the keeper are not available in the morning
Yeah.
because they're all meeting with the expedition crew that returned.
Yeah.
What time is it now that we have finished at the pet shop?
I thought the pet shop was the day before.
It
No,
was.
the pet shop was the first thing
It
in the
was-
morning.
Yeah, because the night before was when you guys went to the college originally, and Zarker popped out of the ground like a daisy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So yeah. So that's where we're at.
What time is it now that we have left the pet shop, roughly?
It's probably around like 10-ish, like
Okay.
10, 11 o'clock. It's getting
So-
closer. It's like towards noon, midday.
So there's still probably some time until the keeper and the professors are all done with the away team for us to do anything with that. So that just leaves going to see the librarian.
Well, I thought that the dragon, we were supposed to come back at night. Were we supposed to come back? Was it come back tomorrow night?
No.
Or
It
did
was
I
just-
just
He
add
told
that?
you to come back tomorrow because he needed to
Oh,
have time to go find what he was looking for
Because
you.
we asked him for a book.
Everything.
You essentially asked him
specifically,
for
what's the-
everything he had on Fiends and Demons.
That's right.
Because you
Because
were
originally
looking-
we're like, "What's the most powerful thing in here?" And he's like, if you read it, you'll die." And we're like, "What's the second most powerful? Like, get out of my library."
Yeah, he was like, absolutely not. Get out.
What's the most powerful book that won't kill us? I need you to stop.
Man.
So I guess we'll head back to the library. Oh no, we have to return to the library.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, let's rock and roll. So, again, you guys have kind of left the pet shop and you're heading back towards the library, which is more of a familiar sight for Duka and Fyodor, as you essentially tried to make that your next home when you first arrived, and it took force to get Duka to leave. You're
We were
vibrating with excitement like a chihuahua.
He's like if Chihuahuas
Back
could feel
to the
joy.
books.
Which it is Zarkra and Lily, this is the first time you guys have kind of seen it from a distance as you wandered the city, considering the grand scale of this thing.
Mhm.
And especially because it is in front of the college. So you've seen it, but you've never come up close to, you have not been inside of it. You're not entirely sure what to expect. So Fyodor and Duka, you kind of take the lead. Duka almost like trying to rush in there. It was like, yes.
I'm
And-
literally holding him by the scruff of his shirt. Just
Aw.
As you come up the stairs, again, it is a familiar sight to you. Lilia and Zarkra, you both follow up those like stone steps, and you do see that same bell that same designed bell that was perched outside of the college that you guys had rung that had summoned the keeper to answer questions. She kind of flits around all over the place, and these large wooden carved doors are still kind of propped open like they had been before. And as you step in, you are hit with that smell of like old books, and you do see the occasional person kind of coming in between the different bookcases, some of them putting stuff up. You kind of see a wisp of a blue figure that you two both recognize as the one who mans the desk, kind of disappearing in between the books, looking like he's collecting things for other people. And as you kind of make your way through the center of it, you very quickly come to this large circular wooden desk that you would assume that if somebody worked there, it would have at the very least a section to get into. Like if you lifted up a lever to have a full cabinet, but there's no easy way to get in or out of where this desk is. But you do see across the floor that they're in the dust. There are footprints walking the whole way around it repeatedly. And as you guys continue to go back further, hi, continue. Yes, I see you've raised your hand.
How high is the desk?
I mean, for a normal person, it's, hip height.
Would Zarkra be able? Is it above Zarkra's head?
It's probably about level.
That's like chin height for you.
Or wait, yeah, no, hip height? Actually, yeah, it might be above her head.
If it's hip height on a normal person, that's
Kobolds, aren't they like 3 feet tall?
They can be. They're typically between like 2 and 3 feet in most depictions.
how tall is
I don't know
Zarka?
why.
She's not exceptionally tall. She's probably about 2'5", 2'6".
I want to make
And
a little
yes.
mage hand for her to
But
step
you-
on as like a step stool, so she's not like, so she
Yeah.
can see over the.
Actually,
Because
that
it's like-
doesn't work if she weighs more than 10 pounds.
Because counters, at least counters for me, and I am short, come to about my hip, which is why I was like, I being only 5'3", 3 feet would see over the counter. So if we're shorter than that, yeah.
She might have to stand on tip claw to
Yeah.
do it.
Should we find you an apple box?
Are you guys wanting to stop
I'm-
at the desk, or are you wanting to go straight to the dragon?
I think we
don't
stop
need
and
anything from this
demonstrate
place.
the desk.
This is what we've been doing for the last 48 hours or so.
Oh, I figured. I don't need anything from this place. I don't need to interact with anyone at the desk. You don't need to accommodate me. It's unnecessary.
There a
Lilia,
book of
ask a
names?
question.
Is there a book of names?
A book of what?
Names?
Book of names. And I
The
slam
book
my
of
hand
names.
on the counter.
There's a pause for a moment, and you do see this kind of vague, like bluish glow of an apparition. There's no facial features to it. It's just kind of vaguely human shaped. Kind of like when I say vaguely human shaped, you know how when the body hits and they kind of do the chalk outline? It's just vaguely human shaped. And it kind of, you feel it kind of slowly push your hand off the counter and goes, Book of Names, and then vanishes again. And after a few minutes, it kind of reappears and places in front of you a tome that's just in very cutesy letters, popular baby names.
Divine sense.
Okay. She's gonna take it and just start flipping through it while everybody else is doing their
Say,
thing.
I was really worried for a split second, and by worried I mean very hopeful that it was going to bring us like the Goetic book of names, where it's just like, yeah, this is a book of all the true names of demons, so you can summon them.
If it had that,
Hey,
it would have
it
already
It
brought
could
that to
still
me.
be that.
Zarkra immediately uses her divine sense. So was that an undead? Was that a ghost? A spirit? A specter?
No,
I'm
Haunt?
afraid of no ghosts.
Was it celestial or fiend?
it does not feel like it, though you do get, like, it has, like, that slight vibration of magic.
Okay.
You kind of, it doesn't seem like it is or ever was a living thing.
Zarkra tenses and then immediately relaxes. It's some
like a
sort of
full
arcane
like a full body
machination.
mage hand.
Yeah, it's some sort of arcane machination. It's not a spirit, and she is more comfortable now.
But yeah, you just have a book of baby names now in like cutesy little letters for you to flip through at your leisure.
She's looking at
Lilia,
like meanings and names and stuff.
Because
Lilia,
you
make
have
sure you don't
been
take
here.
it with you.
Yeah. It
gonna
does is like as it hands it
stay
may
here.
not leave.
Just gonna...
Don't leave the building. It can you can take it around with you, but don't leave the building with it. There's a it's like a big deal.
It will kill you.
That's
Yeah.
scary. I am.
Obviously, as evidenced by the fact that even we have not stolen books yet.
That's serious.
Yeah.
Right.
She goes back to looking up stuff.
Okay.
But she's
So
following
Dra-
along where everybody's going.
This one you are going to be into. This is going to be cool. Promise. we're gonna
I
walk-
will take your word for it.
We're gonna walk to the back where the fucking librarian is. The
So
Durgan.
I'll
you
follow.
guys head back or like skirt around the desk and continue to head back, and it kind of starts to weave you, almost kind of forcing you to weave through different bookcases, and again kind of scooting past. It towers above you with these large ladders that go all the way, like as far up as you can see, books and scrolls, and there's different artifacts, and as dip your magic sense of kind of pinging on different things of artifacts and things going around as you kind of come around that familiar corner, Duca and Fyodor, and you see it. You just you see what looks like a line of bones across like the end of the bookcase, but it does not seem to be moving.
Hello,
What?
friend.
Oh yeah, you speak Draconic. I can't do shit.
Oh yeah, I just start speaking Draconic.
There's kind of a pause for a moment, and then you see it kind of scooches for a second, and then the whole thing kind of picks up and moves, and you realize you had seen its whatever this thing's was tail laying across the floor as it kind of moves for a second, and you hear this kind of creaking, crackling, or rattling. That's not a word. Rattling of these bones as it kind of turns, and you see this large skull dip down, chin gracing the floor, its own head towering above Fyodor. And you hear the eminent of this voice. I've returned.
Of course we did. Of course, we have so many questions from you, so much knowledge to be gained.
Zarkra
What
has
about our
lowered
friends?
into a crouch. Her eyes are wide and she's staring at this thing. Her tail is like up in the air, like alert.
What?
But she's listening.
I see you've brought your friends as well.
We did.
Come. And the head kind of, you never see its mouth really move, but there's more of that creaking as again the bones kind of shift against each other as it picks itself back up and disappears among the bookcases, heading back towards that table that he had perched you both at.
I fold into a bow that lasts a little longer than is comfortable before pursuing as ordered.
When you said library, this wasn't what I expected.
I know, right? It's way better.
No wonder you're not stealing shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, we would be eaten or dissolved. I don't know. Maybe our souls would be rended.
I hate both of those things.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
I mean, it doesn't sound fun to have it happen to you.
yeah.
Could you imagine if you could rend a soul?
I'm working on it. I have
I
imagined
know.
it.
I look forward to it.
Maybe we should ask about that, right? We should. I'm just start writing notes. Soul rending.
And you kind of, as you guys are kind of catching up with him, having your little conversation, he does kind of slowly turn his head back towards you and just, knowledge can be a powerful thing, but it can also be just as deadly. Be careful with the things you search.
I mean, you know what all the things I've searched. I don't feel like that's much worse than, some of the things I talked about yesterday.
Do not go past page 2 of the Google.
Yes, and I've warned you not to seek those. Now.
Safe
As he kind of moves, which you can see through him. He's a skeleton for the most part, but you do see it like as he kind of moves out of the way. This large round table. There's like a stack of varying shaped books but more scrolls than you can't really see how many there are. They're just kind of all laid out over top like a pancake stack of scrolls open out on the table. I have found everything that I currently have on what you are looking for. I'm not sure it will provide the answers you seek, but perhaps it will point you in the right direction.
Thank you, my friend.
As for you two, and he kind of looks at the newcomers, Lilia and Zarkra. He's almost slightly amused with Zarkra. He finds that kind of just like, no, don't make eye contact, utter respect. He's kind of amused by it a little bit.
Is he still speaking Draconic?
So it's weird. He spoke Draconic to Duka when Duka spoke it to him. However, he does, if you speak common to him, he will speak it back. He seems to respond with whatever language you speak to him.
This seems like a new development, because I could not understand him at all last time.
I know.
Shit.
Shit.
The dragon learned how to cast tongues.
No, I just didn't want to answer your questions. You had very weird ones.
I don't see how my questions were weirder than his, but you know,
He was not looking for ways to remove spines from living people.
did I do that? Did I ask for that knowledge? I do not remember having that in my list of questions.
Some kind of eldritch Urkel.
But
On Irkel Ralain.
Yeah.
Did Yogg-Sothoth do that?
You asked for every bit of knowledge I had on the
Necromancy.
fiends and the infernal,
Yes, that
and
one.
I have brought it before you.
Thank you.
There's more about the world, but this is all I have at my disposal. You may peruse it at your own leisure. As always, it may not leave.
So,
Is it
If
just like
it
a stack
leaves-
of books?
You will not.
so if
Does
one
he
of
have
us throws it out
there's
the
a
window,
stack
the
of
other
books
one
on-
can go.
Yeah. There's a large stack of books on the side, and then across most of the table is this large stack of open scrolls. Like, it's pancake stack. Like, it's a thick stack of open scrolls. It seems most of the information here is old.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start working through it while he talks to the girls.
So anything infernal or abyssal are the two that I imagine I'd be helpful with because
Yeah. But I'm gonna work with these two while you guys deep dive into your research, and we'll come back to the stuff that you find through it. But as he kind of settles himself down into it, and now that he's kind of in that resting position, laying down, kind of closer to you guys, he still kind of rests himself on the ground, not wanting. He seems to want to be like eye level with you. He doesn't want to tower over. He's like, no, I want to be with the people. He kind of rests his chin on the ground as he very close to both of you. He goes,
Lilia's been like holding the book, like frozen, looking between everybody and the dragon since we got here. And then when he does that, she's like, okay, and relaxes a little bit.
and what brings both of you to my abode? You do notice now that he's kind of settled and close to you, there is dust settling in his eye sockets, and pieces of like moss are starting to sprout along the top of his head and in the cracks of his skull.
Wow.
I was just
There-
following them.
Indeed, there's nothing specific that we. Actually, if it does not trouble you, there is one matter that I've grown curious about lately that you might be able to shed some light upon.
Speak your mind, small one.
She, again, sort of bobs her head in the affirmative and says, recently I fell into a strange situation, some other world beneath the streets of this one. It was a dark place, and I returned from it by unusual means.
People haven't been down there in a very long time. She tends to keep it closed off from the populace.
I am not surprised that you know of such a strange place.
Well, yes, I was here when it was crafted. I helped in its construction. Just the top corner, just.
If you would see fit to share with me information regarding its nature, I would be most grateful.
Why do you seek this information?
I suppose it's curiosity. I want to know if it poses a threat.
I do always love curiosity. It can get you in strange places. And you, with the Book of Names,
I'm
a
just.
very boring read.
I'm having trouble picking a name for the little one.
Hmm.
Nothing seemed quite right yet.
So is it only a name you see?
Well, more like a name, yes, but like a meaning to a name?
And you see as he kind of takes a deep breath, and you're not sure he can breathe, but it seems like he does, as even his ribs kind of seem to expand, a small scraping as they rub against the stone floor as he kind of picks himself up and he starts to go down into the bookcases, and you watch again as those boned claws kind of hook very carefully into the bookcases, pulling himself up onto the top as he seems to disappear, though you can still faintly hear the rattle of his steps as he goes and he disappears for the moment. Oh boys, the brothers.
Do we need to roll to read? Like investigate?
I will give you some basic information, and then going from there, I will let you roll certain things for more if you would like to, or if you do not have questions, we could just go from there. How does that sound? Hey,
Yeah.
Vikrant, if you stab me with your tiny needle feet. Thank you. I feel like a villain. Okay, you know the rules. Park it. So, you heathen.
That's the real reason
So-
she said no.
Duca, you're not sure where to start. You're just kind of excited at first, and you're like, okay, like there's just, all right, we gotta start somewhere. Fyodor, however, while you could start with the heavier stack of books, you do recognize some of the the languages and the texts that are sprawled across the scroll, and you kind of move Duca to the books. It's like that's your job now,
Mhm.
as you kind of take over the scrolls.
Well, if you insist.
For the time being.
Because I'm specifically looking for stuff that's in Abyssal and Infernal, because I want to hear what the demons have to say about themselves.
Yes. Those are the languages that you see other languages mixed in it as well. Some of it seems to be written in those languages. Some of it seems to be recounts of people from much earlier who were studying and different things like that. So among the scrolls, you find a couple of interesting things. There's a lot of them seem to be broken or failed spells in a sense. Like they almost look like trial and errors, several stacks of them, of well, what if we tried this? Well, it ate so and so and then kind of inverted, it was a failure. Okay, this was trial 2. It seems like a bunch of those mixed in there. Some of them seem to be first-hand encounters from these old of kind of in the same way that people might talk about when they yes, the mighty gods of them, when they met things like that, of just, well, this is what they saw, and they describe these. Some of them, some of the more, the ones written infernal, seem to describe I'm trying to find words because my brain said no today, all day. I have written entire names backwards in the book at work.
That's
Like,
almost
it works.
impressive.
Yeah, considering I can't spell anything. But one recount speaks of this large hulking figure in a throne of screaming. It's just they seem to have been trapped. It recounts this tale of, you assume from the handwriting, it looks like one of the people who had been trying some of these different things. Not all of them. They seem to be spread out over such a long period of time. It had to have been several different people, or at least several different lifetimes, even if it was someone continuing some research. However, based on how the scroll is marked, it seems to have been damaged. had been through so much, like it should not have come back here. Even the markings of the ink and things on it seems like it was almost written in a panic, leaving ink blobs and things, making part of it hard to read. But it is written in both pieces of Common, but also parts of Infernal. Like you see bits and pieces of names written in there in attempts of spelling things. You see descriptions of these weird red landscapes that seem to shoot up and then dip down into voids of nothing, and things like that. But that while it also speaks of these large hulking figures, it also speaks of these almost like smooth talking, sweet individuals, but it never specifies any names on those. It just very much talks about these very sweet, very comforting creatures. It doesn't clarify what it thinks these are. However, at the very end of one of those, when it talks about those, it just says they were alive. And then it just seems to kind of bleed off, and there's nothing after that. That seems to be one of the more recent ones.
They got. They fell for some dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
kindness.
Duka, you have a stack of books. These seem more almost like encyclopedias or history books in a sense, where it kind of like, let me phrase that. It kind of reminds you of when you were going through like your zoology books of like, well, let's talk about the different kinds of toads. Like it's just
let's
like,
talk
okay.
about the different kinds of fiends.
It's like, but yeah, it's like, all right, here's some variations we know of. Here's some reasons why these things are happening, like that we know of. Here are things that we like. I don't know what that was about, but like, I wrote it down. There is one that it does talk. There is a couple stories in here that it talks about that you do kind of recognize that you've actually heard about more like I say more recently, like one of the mail carriers had told you about a strange happening that occurred in a city when you guys were children, that many of the goblins in your home just dismissed as, it's a tall tale. But when you do recognize it, as it was talking about how a strange laughter had filled the streets on come the morning. The grand monument of in a city had suddenly been moved to a different city, and no one could figure out how or why. There were people frantically searching the streets trying to figure out what happened. There were people in the other city like, who is that? What? It's on my house. So you see things like that. There is a earlier recount in a much like in one of the older books that it's been like, what did you do? Thank you. And it was almost the story seems to be about 150, 200 years old, but it was talking about other people hearing the sounds of giggling and not understanding why. And it was found that two children of two separate races had been warped and switched. Where you had it was a dragonborn baby had been turned into something else and put in another family and was replaced with a not at the time but now dragonborn baby from a different family, and had just been switched, followed by the sound of weird giggling.
Lots of practical jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the monsters and things in the hells, honestly, the most emotionally distressing for me is the idea of being in a room where people are laughing and you don't know why.
Yeah. But you do notice that is a trend in a lot of these stories, is that it is often followed by like soft echoing sounds of laughter or giggling. Some of these stories are, again, as simple as like these weird little stories of a farmer's field being moved from like completely changing crops or being moved to the other side of their house, like just things moving, going weird places. Then you also have ones as gruesome as buildings set on fire. Like buildings set on fire and put in different places, people waking up in different planes, not sure where they are, like just different things like that, but they all are followed by the sound of giggling.
Fuck.
Hate
Yeah.
it. I love it and I hate it.
Interesting. Okay.
Throne of Screams.
Home of Scream.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fuck? I'm
I
just gonna
have-
say the hell sound like a bad place to be.
Sounds like a bad place. Yeah. We
Does
don't
not
want-
seem like a good time would be had by. I could probably find something to do there, to be honest, actually.
You would.
I have 2 questions
Okay.
from what we've collected. One, you said that it looks like there's fragments of spells in the scrolls.
It looks like people attempting like spells that had to do with it, whether it was summoning, banishing, or just using Inferno. They seem like broken spells. However, several of them do seem to be like they are trying to either open a door to it or trying to bring something from there to this realm.
From hell, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then is there anything about like do any of them name any like varieties of demon or devil or fiend, or do they name specific ones like proper nouns like, oh yeah, that was my friend Jacob the, chest ripper.
Classic demon. Or like any of the archfiends, like any of the like hierarchy.
Are there,
or,
yeah,
like,
is there like
are there any
things-
like this is King Bloodfucker? Like I don't.
Oh, goodness
the
gracious.
Infernal
I'm not
Emperor,
gonna with you.
femur basher, yeah,
Nice.
tibia drinker.
Rend and
So-
tear, rip and tear.
I will let, if you want to know that, I will let Fyodor roll investigation.
Can I roll
Can I help?
religion instead? Because it's the plains of hell.
I will let you roll religion, but you cannot speak Infernal, so no, you cannot.
I speak Infernal. I don't speak
Do you?
Abyssal. I speak Infernal, not Abyssal.
I had them switched. Okay, then yeah.
So I get advantage on my.
I will allow it. As I'm just like, yes.
Even with, I mean, I have an intelligence of +1, so this is not actually that high.
Guidance.
Bardic inspiration. All of it. Now,
If
what does
you-
guidance let me do? Add a D4?
D4 for guidance, yes.
Suddenly
I
a
don't think I
musical in the
can-
library.
If you break out in song in a library, I cannot save you.
Well, I mean, inspiration has also been like very depressing poetry at once. When at
I
least to
can't-
inspire.
Bardic Inspiration does work on ability checks. I will also give you Bardic Inspiration.
What is that one? A D6?
And it's just going to be beatboxing, like very quiet, like,
Is it a D6?
yes, right?
a
as
whisper
D6.
box.
That's a D6, a D4, and then your roll.
Oh god, that's great.
At advantage.
Okay. With all of that,
Oh my god.
I got a 23.
Yes.
Hey!
You got so sad, dude. You're like, no.
I was gonna
I
say,
thought
with
it was gonna be
advantage, it's
bad.
12, and I'm like, motherfucker.
My name is Duka, and I'm here to say to learn about demons in a major way.
So while you do recognize that some parts do seem to have bits and pieces of names written in the Infernal and things like that, are you making a
Thank you,
decision?
Phoebe.
She says, you rang? Infernal?
You
I'm
either
here.
park
What you
it
need?
or you get off. That's the rule. Oh,
Thanks.
well, I guess you decided to get up. All right, don't. But I lost my train of thought. There's my train of thought.
Names.
Hit a wall. But I was like, it's hard to make out a lot of them just because, again, it seems like there's part of a name just because of how the naming happens. Like there's several parts to them. So there's you have like a first part of one name, or you might have the last part of another name. But there is one in whole on one of the older, like, that just gets me every time.
I need it. I need it for plans. Yes.
Thank you.
His name is actually, interestingly, In Whole.
No, but on one of the oldest of the scrolls, on the same one that seems to mention the giant being who sits atop the throne of screams, there is a name that seems to be paired with it, and it takes you a little bit at first to kind of figure out what, like, you get what it is Infernal, but you're trying to figure out how to get it back into common, like how to actually tell other people what it is without going or whatever Infernal sounds like. Don't me on that.
I mean, why not?
Oh,
Why not?
yeah, it's too late.
You know, Infernal speech. But you do, after a little bit of time.
Ska.
Did you just wait? What did you just say?
Infernal. It doesn't act. It just sounds like whatever you would say in common, but as a ska hit.
Thank you.
It doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to decide. I think it'd be funny if the Digimon soundtrack was entirely an Infernal.
Anyways,
Sorry.
what's the name? What's
I'm
the
still
name? I
processing
need it.
that.
Don't process that for too long. It'll hurt.
My
me.
nose is bleeding.
It's already started.
But okay, are you done?
Yeah.
You kind of gather that it essentially means the unraveling.
Ooh.
It's my favorite Within Temptation album.
Does that ring a bell
Nice.
from any of the books that we were reading, or?
Or the voices that my magic comes from. Have I philosophied that name?
One question at a time, because I heard two of them. You're wanting to know if that is attached to your research. You're wanting to know if that is attached to what, Duca? Like if you recognize it from what?
If I recognize the name, or if if I can cross-reference, be like, oh, the Unraveling, or whatever the name is in Infernal. I've heard it here, or I can connect it to this idea.
Mm-mm. You can kind of recognize part of the iconography of the image of him, but you do not recognize the name.
What do I recognize in the iconography?
In the iconography, you have seen it you do see it in the book every now and again when it refers to essentially it refers to a king or a great powerful one. It will show that specific imagery of it.
Excellent. Okay.
I love how they're both like, I'm gonna go do this thing real quick, BRB, and I was like, cool, I was about to cut to you, but I guess we won't. Because he was gonna return. But do you guys have any more questions? Oh, right, your thing. Fyodor had a question.
Yeah. It was pretty much the same question. It's just, do I recognize that as showing up anywhere else?
Nope.
No.
Other than the you guys have seen kind of the iconography when you start a little. It does not pop up often. Like you may have seen it 2, maybe 3 times, but that's about it.
It's the kanji for royalty.
Can I Arcana check to kind of I don't know, learn anything from the spell fragments, kind of
see where they went wrong.
Yeah, try to figure out what they're
Check the programmer's notes on the side.
I will tell you it will be a very high DC, but I will let you roll Arcana.
Since I'm the one who translated it, can I assist?
Sure.
Can you guidance yourself?
For the briefest moment, I thought you were doing that and had not yet picked up a dice, and then just kind of remembered, yes, I must roll it.
I'm gonna guidance myself. I can't bardic inspiration myself, but I can guidance myself. $26.
So the only thing you can kind of see from all, like, they seem to be kind of going in the right direction, but there's definitely a big piece missing, but you do not know what that is.
Damn, the DC was probably like 35 or some shit.
It's okay. Next
They
level.
forgot to dot their I's, cross their T's.
It was a DC 28. I was like, it's not impossible, but it's
Wow.
almost.
I would have had to get a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Next level,
Nice.
I'll have a +10.
Well, what did your guidance give you?
Guidance was a +3. I rolled a 15 on the advantage, and then I have a +8. So I guess, yeah, I could have gotten a 17.
But
Hypothetically.
as you guys are kind of scouring this, you do hear that familiar sort of gentle rattle start to reapproach from overhead of you across the bookcases, and ever so slowly he kind of picks himself back down, circling around the lot of you at the table. And he kind of opens one of his one of the bone closets very, very slowly in front of you, Lilia. Careful not to push you with it as he kind of tries to offer you the book that sits in the middle of the palm. And you do see it's not a baby name book like the one that you had been given at the front desk where it's like popular baby names. This seems to be a much older book, and it seems to be the book of a family where every generation went and wrote their name, like that kind of family generational book. This seems to be some family recounting of their books. There are names in here that you've never heard of, but he's like, this might be of help to you. You're muted.
Hi.
Thank you. Mhm.
She has long ass arms and a long ass torso, and so she just kind of like reaches down in there and grabs the book, like balance the baby a little bit as she does it.
They may not be the most traditional, but they may be of more help to you than that.
Thank you. She starts looking through it. Every once in a while, she'll like kind of whisper one to the baby and like point at it, and then go on to the next one.
That's adorable.
And for you.
Yes.
We do not have texts for you to scour, unfortunately. All I can offer you is my own knowledge on the matter.
I am certain it will be more than sufficient, sir.
Do you merely want to hear the purpose of its creation, or do you want the whole story?
I will take whatever it is that you see fit for me to know.
I do not see the harm in sharing it, merely if you have the desire to even know why things are done, or if you just want to know what things are. And he kind of opens it to the table of...
Do you want to know
I
what time it is or
find-
how to build a watch?
I find that the former often informs the latter, so I do believe my allies will also wish for the fullness of the information.
So be it. You may want to take a seat. And he kind of
Pulls over a chair with her tail.
pulls his hand back and he loafs like a cat does. He kind of gets comfortable around, kind of wrapped around.
Adorable.
He's just like, I was here before this city was built. Before the city was an idea. And I'm sure I will be here long after it's gone. Who is typing? Oh, it's Duka. No, you're fine. I didn't know what it was. I was like, hang. But he continues. This was not even a library, but merely a hole filled with things I fancied and things I enjoyed to read. A young being that you have all met at this point, I believe you called her the Keeper. She is the one who originally came to me and offered me the deal. She would build a city from my home using the knowledge that I have, and in exchange, she would bring more people and more knowledge to me. Yes, you are. You are in his horde. That's why you can't
Yes.
leave with anything. Because he'll kill you. But, I wasn't sure how it would go, but I allowed her to continue. And she very quickly set about building first the library, and then on from there. The walls were the second thing built. They spanned from the base of one mountain to the base of the next, blocking off the pass between the mountains. I'm not sure what she gained from that, but who am I to ask questions on such a matter? She did not want to discuss that with me anyway. She said it would come with time, and I'm sure it has. More knowledge has passed through here when you're forced to come through. After the walls, it was still nothing more than a library and some bricks. She had such grand ideas for what she wanted this to be, but there was no way with her power to achieve such a grand idea. So she set out to find a god, and I suppose she found him. I'm not sure how, or how she even got him down there. But below your feet, in these tunnels that flow like blood in veins, is the very essence of a god. He was slain, and his power flows through here so that it is an ever expanding. The walls will never grow, but the room inside always will. She has tied her own self to this dead god, though I'm not sure you can call it a god anymore if it's not immortal. She uses it to fuel the city and her own life. That is all.
Just
Yeah,
over here looking at baby names.
Zarkra
What is it
already
out there?
couldn't reach the ground from her chair, but she's pulled her legs even more up and sort of like curled in on herself a bit instinctively, because realizing that we're in the middle of a dragon's horde is already kind of like being on hollowed ground. And then to find out that this is literally also the grave marker for a divine being and its resting place is kinda a lot right now. So she's
You're welcome.
quiet.
Lilia is
Quiet's a good
oblivious.
word. Reverent, terrified. These are also good words to describe her mental state. She is holding herself together with the mental equivalent of duct tape, and she would kindly wish for one of you to say something.
Zarkra hears sniffling behind her and turns around, and Dukagon has appeared, like book in hand, and it's just like crying tears of joy.
Good.
She does well. She means well. She is a loving and benevolent leader to the humans and other creatures that pass through or choose to stay. But she did always tell me from the start of the days that all good things are built on the blood and bones of others. And she spoke truth.
I feel like Lilia would, after a minute, and like realize that Zarkra is really not comfortable and miserable because
She's not necessarily miserable, and as a matter of fact,
Okay, that's
as
good.
the dragon says that last thing, she's kind of able to pull herself together a little bit and nod along. Like, yes,
Okay.
there is such truth in those words. She's kind of grounding herself.
Okay, because Lilia may not know like why, but I feel like she would know that her friend is was shrinking. For lack of a better word. What did that say?
Is some of your research clicking in your head now?
Yes.
Oh, Duka. I mean, not Duka. Fyodor is just straight up like he almost has that like not mischievous, but he looks like he's suddenly planning something. Like he has like inspiration.
Yeah, remember when you almost doubled over from the sheer amount of power
Wonderful.
from a few drops of it? Yeah, you stuck your hand in god blood, Zarkra.
Yeah.
That's why it almost knocked you on your ass.
That's why it was celestial and just pure power.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Do we know the librarian's name?
He offered it to you once, and it was that like ancient draconic.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. You can ask him again. Since he's actually willing to speak, because Fyodor has stopped asking about weird things.
My friend, now that you speak common, can we get your common name? It would just be easier to address you.
I don't necessarily have a common name. My name, oddly enough, seeing as she wanders about, my name in your tongue means he who speaks truth. However, you may call me Peter.
Amazing.
I don't know why I thought you were
I
going to say
will call you
Truthy.
Peter, sir.
I'm going to call you Truthy.
Truthio.
No, you may call him Peter.
Peter.
My name is ancient and not for your tongue.
I'm
It
gonna
means
change
he
my-
who speaks truth, and you may call me Peter.
I'm going to change my note from the made the keep out of the librarian's hoard to made the keep out of Peter's hoard.
Yeah.
Yes!
The keep was built around him. Yes.
Writes down kill a god to take its power to my to-do list and also my birthday wish list.
My letter to Santa. Peter, the god that the keeper is draining the blood power from, and he just like stops for a second and is just like, oh. Do we know the identity of this god?
Well, yes.
Oh boy. What is it?
What was it?
What was it? Thank you.
Where did I write it down? My brain says Iliad, but I know that's not right. I didn't write it on my NPC list because I'm stupid. It's the one that I told that it's the same god name that Solus, the pet shopkeeper, told you from the storybook?
Fuck.
I don't remember.
I don't have notes.
I wrote it in the thing because I knew I couldn't remember things, and I didn't put it in my book, but I wrote it down so you guys could spell it somewhere.
Ilphus. ILPHUS.
Yeah, I was like, it's ill
Oh, right.
something.
Ilphus, yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna put in my NPC guide because I'm stupid.
What was Ilphus a god? Did Ilphus have like a domain? Or were they
The
just
only
vaguely-
thing that you know is what you were told about him, and that again, the story of essentially him being made a boogeyman of stealing children, and then you also know about his dog, that
the void dog?
the void dog, that essentially he would throw the children into his dog and they would disappear.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool.
Super cool.
So, I want you-
Lilia
you wanna go
leans
get
over.
that god blood, right?
Oh, sorry. What?
I gotta go get that god blood.
We gotta go get that god blood. I'm like, holy shit.
I mean, if the city runs on it, we could probably, like, if we're in good enough standing with the keeper, requisition it in the same way of like, hey, we need to use a little extra power off the grid, you know?
No, I want to drink it. I'm going to do blood magic with it.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking bathe in it.
I'm gonna blood magic it.
I'm gonna specifically. I have to
cursed.
find some skin. Like I have to find some god skin. Like very badly. Very badly.
Goodness.
Horrifying.
Oh,
Neffy, seriously?
okay.
She's trying to flank my dinner. I wasn't letting her go up the fucking desk, so she's gone behind the keyboard and is trying to...
Okay, so like
Well, Frankie
only a
does give you
slight
advantage.
judgment. It's 9:30
True.
and you still have dinner sitting out.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to finish dinner while the stream was going.
But you need to
be-
eat, friend.
I ate. I did.
That's
I
good.
did do that. I ate the breakfast that I made 2 days ago. Did not want to eat after I made it. Left it in the fridge, and then I ate it today.
And just to be clear, my little bit of judgment is concern.
That's not... Those are objectively two different emotional actions.
No, not necessarily. Judgment and concern are very closely related.
I have judged you and found you to be concerning.
As a mother, those two things are very similar. Ugh.
Now that you know what lies beneath your feet, what is it you plan to do with your newfound knowledge?
Blood from a blood god. Blood from a blood god. Blood from a blood god.
Everything from my dead god. Also, are there other dead gods that we know the location of? Also, are there other like documented uses of dead gods? Also, and he just like starts rattling shit off.
Careful, if you ask too many weird blood questions, he will forget your language. Out of
You'll
spite.
forget.
Yeah, I'm just fucking all over the place.
I love how very close to dipping into like a Jerry Lewis kind of thing. You were like, also do we have
I was losing the accent. Yeah, I was very excited.
Hey Lady Dragon.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Fyodor Dukaganov is kind of
Salivate.
we're just like definitely in our element, and I don't want to like bogart the whole session.
No, dude, I learned what I needed to. Like,
Is your
we're in the
friend-
library. I would feel bad if I kept you from doing, like, your character's whole thing.
Blood from a blood god. Blood from a blood god. Blood from a blood god.
Right there.
Is vibrating normal for you?
Yes.
Yes. I'm not like boring a hole through the floor, but I am like cleaning it in a very small circle.
You're actively bordering on combustion.
No.
Yeah. I
With
will add
this
more.
information, I will give you the warning.
Oh, that's
While
always the
knowing,
one.
while seeking knowledge is always encouraged. What you do with that information must be decided upon wisely.
In other words, knowing is only half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle.
The other half is harvesting a dead god.
Long story short, if you
Question
fuck
mark,
around,
question
you
mark,
might
question mark.
find out.
Profit.
The oldest of Chinese proverbs. Fuck around and find out.
It is beneath the city and not among the streets for a reason.
True, you don't want a random child to like trip and fall into a river of God.
It is dangerous.
Speaking of random children finding it, that reminds me. I was led there by a black hound, one of those that were known to, well, were told to abduct children in those stories about Ilthus.
She never could catch his dog, but he never strayed far from his owner.
So there is but one.
Yes.
Wait, so is Zarkra a changed child?
I don't believe that's why it led me down there. Perhaps it just wanted someone to see. In any case, is that common around here? People being lost down there? Or following
No.
strange shadows?
It is usually kept well hidden from most people. It is not something she, or rather I, want most people wandering through. Those who do usually do not come back out.
I see.
And we would rather have our citizens alive.
Well.
The dog is quite massive when it wants to be, in case you did not know that.
Yes. He has many interesting skills.
Do you have
They
it?
used to pair well with his
Oh,
Iphilus, but it is only half of the pair now.
A loyal hound without its master.
Yeah.
It's like Futurama all over again.
No!
damn.
And a lost, frightened dog has always been known to bare its teeth.
Oh shit, I meant to send that to Fyodor.
Hey, I was about to say, so Zarkra obviously can't multi-class because of my strength deficiency, but I did have the thought of like, it's a shame I can't take any levels in Shadow Sorcerer. They eventually get the ability to spawn a Shadow Hound, sick it on somebody.
Yeah, they sure do.
I can also cast Speak with Animals. And I think... No, I don't have Animal Friendship. Never mind.
But those are metagamey thoughts.
That sounds very on
Yeah,
brand for. That's very on brand for Duka. Is he learned how to talk to animals, not to how to make friends with them?
Oh, yeah.
You got your little Fisher buddy, though.
Yes, I've made many animal friends, thank you.
You've made the one.
I also have the baby. I'm chill with the baby.
Technically, okay, yeah.
You taught the baby to read, I think.
I'm teaching it to speak. Maybe.
Well, you're teaching it to understand.
I'm teaching it something. I'm reading to it, and it's something's gonna happen.
He's coming for your food.
Oh my god. Well,
Fuck.
fuck.
I cannot control what you do with this information. But you have been warned. Your fates are no longer in my hands.
Well, that's comforting. I do not like my fate to be in other hands. I don't know where those hands have been. Very self-deterministic.
You're very something.
I get that a lot. Usually they're more creative and they fill in the something with other words, but
I don't think there are enough words.
well, okay.
Aww. That was sad.
That was what's the word I'm looking for? Insolent. Flippant.
Has this fed your hunger for knowledge for now? Or is there more you seek?
Well,
There is always more we seek. My god. But that'll do for now. What time is it? How long have we been here talking to this fucker?
It's been a
Reading.
little bit. It's been a couple hours. So it's probably getting to like 1, 2 o'clock. Like it's getting.
Yeah, we probably want to like grab some lunch before Fyodor has to meet with Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science.
I don't think I ever got a name for that guy.
Because I didn't name
Science rules. I think I just named him.
What did?
Bill, the science Bill.
No. That's what.
Okay.
Lelia leans over to Zarkra, just like, look, I think we like this one. What do you think? And like points at a name in the book that she's been like showing the baby all these names in the book. It's like it's hard to tell, but you know, I think this is a good one. She let me see if I can. It won't let me do it. I'm scared to hit. I'm scared to upload the file. I was gonna send the picture of what I sent you earlier, babe. But if I hit that, I'm afraid it's gonna open like a file window with my files that the whole stream can see.
I got you.
I don't know. That's not something I'm willing to test while we're
Can you
live.
type in the name on its own, or?
Well, it has like the meaning under it, and so I just thought,
Oh, okay.
Have you
yeah.
ever considered clicking copy image?
I tried
paste
that.
image.
It wouldn't let me. I tried to hit the button and it wouldn't let me do it. I don't know why.
Control C.
Oh.
Control V.
I know. I tried. It didn't let me do it.
That's very good.
I was telling maybe Winnie for short. Seems
Aw.
okay. And then she's like, "Yeah, this is good. This is good. We'll give this one a try." And like, so like gets the book up and then like realizes that a lot's been happening and then is like, and just kind of stands there with it now.
Only it turns around, Duka is vibrating. Fyodor looks like he's getting ready to kill a god. Griminy.
Are you ready, kids?
Probably not.
Nah.
I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to linger in the library more, if you guys were ready to head on.
I think we can move on. And then, you know.
You can
next
always
time we'll do that.
retroactively pester you with questions of other shit that we have researched in our downtime.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to dedicate another hour of stream to it.
We learned some good stuff.
Alchemy.
Okay.
I do
All right.
need the name and backstory of a sandwich shop owner really quick because we have to go get lunch before my meeting with the professor.
I'm gonna kill you.
Okay.
Well, at least you'll be eating.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That sure is a weird way they're cutting the tomatoes for our sandwiches.
Yeah, it's like you leave behind the books, Lilia.
Yes, no, she's already like, where do I put this? Like,
Oh,
Usually
Lily
it's
is
on the
the
table.
least likely to be. I've definitely probably
She
copied
would
that.
not purposefully steal it, but I could see her distracted and walking out with it, not thinking about it.
yeah.
I think that's more of how you see Amos handling the situation, not Lilia.
That's how I handle the situation.
Lilia has a wisdom of like higher than any of us in real life.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
She might have the wisdom. That doesn't mean she used it. She orphaned a child and then took it as her own.
There's a difference between wisdom and morals.
Her morals are all over the fucking map. She has no idea what to do in life right now.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, I've probably taken meticulous hand-copied notes of at least the attempted spell shit and probably any important iconography that I found, like any recurring or repeating iconography. I've definitely
I
written
wrote
down.
everything.
Okay. I was like,
I
because you guys
wrote
can take notes,
everything.
you just can't take the source material.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that that is specifically what I have the notes for, is the like all of the attempted spell crafting shit and any.
DM it to me, just so I know, and I don't forget. Because I will, if I remember, I will doodle it for you.
Hell yes.
But I was like, because I will say, because we do tend to try to wrap it up around 10ish. We can go a little bit longer if you guys either want to, like, get to / through the Alchemist, or if you want to just kind of touch on it, or start with that come the next session.
Well, I was like, because I'm honestly, my meeting with the alchemist wasn't even
Which-
necessarily a thing that I needed to like actually role play through. It was literally just we were going to swap notes and like.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you wanted to have like a discussion with him, with everybody or whatnot, because we are not gonna have time to go through you guys meeting the returning expedition team. I will tell you now.
Yeah, no, I literally was just gonna be like, just swapping back and forth, like, hey, here's some of my blood that I can turn into lightning now. Here's some shit in a vial that makes stuff mutate to death. If we
I
want,
am sorry that this has been a very info dumpy session. There's
Don't
not
clear.
been
Don't
much else to do.
apologize. It's all good.
We got Peter's name. We got
And that
God blood.
alone was worth the session.
oh yeah, we
No,
got
I was not
Okay.
expecting answers so soon, and
We got the
now I have a lot of
unraveling.
answers. Oh
You
yeah.
have information.
Well, I mean, to me, answers means where was I? Why was
Yeah.
that there? What's the dog? What was that stuff I stuck my hand in? You know, and I got answers to all those questions.
You have the tip of the iceberg.
Well, sure, but Zarka's satisfied for now.
I know,
I'm
but
not.
I'm
Zarka's not
intensely
Dukas.
hoping.
Zarka is fine with like baseline information. You stuck your hand in Marmite. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you stuck your hand in God blood and it tried to kill you.
Well,
You could not contain it.
Makes sense.
it's like the
Yeah.
ending of fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. We have to all hold hands and then stick our hand in the God blood.
Oh.
With the reminder of how that made you feel, there was that other thing that was swimming in it, Zarkra.
Oh yes, I do remember that. I have no idea what that was.
Yeah.
There's stuff
Echoing my words back to me.
swimming in the God blood. That's not good.
God
God blood for the blood, God blood.
How
Oh,
long were
man.
these scrolls? Because you said it was like a stack of pancakes worth of scrolls, right?
Like laid out open, they were all open. They were not like rolled up or anything. It was like this thick.
Hold on, I had the wrong screen up.
Like, come here.
Okay, well, parchment's already not thin, so
Yeah.
I guess theoretically, because we still have like 2 hours until I have to go meet with the alchemist to swap notes. I might just hand copy literally just all of the scrolls parts, just so I have those to cross-reference later. You don't have to send me literally all of them. I'm not expecting you to write all of the scrolls,
I'm
but
not
just
gonna.
I was just making so that I have in
Right.
my inventory for later cross-referencing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
just
they are
assume-
old and they do have damage, so you're not going to be able to get all of it, but you can write down what is legible.
Hell yeah.
And I just assume Dukagon writes down literally everything at all times, and I don't
Is he
expect
gonna
him to do any of
take
that.
that
like-
feat where you remember everything?
No,
No? Keen mind or whatever?
I don't have the. It doesn't fit.
Okay.
That's why he writes everything down. It's because he doesn't remember everything.
I was just saying, because it's literally remembering everything and knowing which way is north. So I was like,
It's remembering everything in the last month.
Wait.
Noted.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do or touch on before we wrap up the session?
Can we level up?
No.
But
Nice
knowledge is
try.
power.
I, for
Yeah,
one,
that
feel much more
power is gonna kick your ass. You
Okay.
keep
Good.
dipping parts of yourself in it.
I need a good ass whooping. I literally have not had my ass whooped once, and
I know, I'm
need an
working
ass
on it.
whooping.
Hey,
Cool.
whoa! Whoa now! Asking Beta whoop our
I'm getting to
asses.
you, Lilia.
We're gonna regret those words. It's like saying
Yeah.
the phones have been too silent at work. You can't do that.
I think it's going to be a slow day. Yeah, you don't.
Done fucked up.
I think
Can't
this
take
fight
it
should
back
be
once
pretty
it's been said.
What could go wrong? It can't get any worse.
At least it's not raining.
Yeah.
There it is.
I have nothing specific. I figured we would go to the next errands.
Yeah. Yeah, we can just leave it with you guys again. You guys go get food. Not Duka. I always do that. My brain is like, yes, it is knowledge. It's Duka. Fyodor can learn things.
I would say it's
He's
fine.
multi-dimensional.
Yeah, literally, probably at this point.
Yeah. So it's like you
But
guys.
no,
go
it's
get
fine.
lunch
We're
and
used to
kind of-
being called by each
Fyodor,
other's
you
names
just-
all the time, so.
Yeah.
Like, Fyodor
Kinda
just walked
going
into the room
over-
and I have a headache. When did you pick up a fifth dimension?
Yeah. But yeah, you guys kind of go get lunch, kind of going over notes and information you guys have gained today, while Fyodor goes to meet with his little alchemist buddy.
I'm not gonna like force anybody to come with me to class, but I'm not gonna tell anybody that they can't. Thank you for giving him.
Vic.
You're welcome. Jorvik.
You're
Oh, Yervik. Nice. I mean, Zarkar's probably going to stay where most of the party is concentrated.
Same.
So if
It's literally up to the
Fyodor-
brothers whether we split the party.
Exactly.
If you're both so those two are always gonna stick together. Meaning, there's literally no way. Hang on. Yeah, no, because that means
No.
because if
Get
they're
out.
both going wherever the party is going, that means that if the brothers split up, they literally have to decide with the two of them who they're going to like consider the party in that moment.
Right.
Logistically, it's
Like
nonsense.
you can either go discuss alchemy with Fyodor and Jorvik and all that chaos, or you can again stay with Duka and go over information that you've gathered, see what kind of conclusions you can come to, see if anybody else has any ideas that they might have thought of that the others might not have. You can go see what Brett is doing with his new friend from the guard. The little thing. He's trying his best.
We should.
You can go see how your horse is doing that you haven't seen since you showed up.
You should check on Ivan.
Yeah.
I'm sure
The
it's fine.
possibilities are endless.
And we don't currently have any sort of like we're not on any sort of clocks right now, right? We're not like
No. You guys
gunning for anything.
it's very much just you guys wanted to see the expedition team afterwards, and it has to be sometime after the meeting ends. But you're not really in much rush. So again, we can leave it at this, and if you guys want to just like text me like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do with my downtime of like, hey, I wanted to study, or hey, I wanted to go see such and such. And just if you it's kind of like a when we go into the next session, this is what I did, so that you have like something like if you had like a thing prepared of like, hey, I wanted to go see this before we go talk to the expedition team, or I wanted to go do that, or like go check on such and such,
Right.
But
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Feels
I
good.
you
think
guys
Duca
have
slips
any-
back to the library. Ask more questions.
Lelia's gonna be going around trying to teach the baby its name wherever she
Alchemy.
goes with people.
Oh, alchemy.
Is there any comments, questions, concerns, or critiques?
No, I mean everybody needs a good exposition session every once in a while, and I feel like that was extremely fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, the librarian's voice was slow and monotonous, which made it harder for me to follow with my attention span. But other than that,
I'm sorry.
that's
I did
all.
want
That's
it to be
apologize.
kind of drawn out, but that's
He's
fair.
ancient. He's got time.
yeah.
Oh, he has all the
Indeed.
time in the world.
I was like, just trying so hard to just follow and not like. Bueller. Bueller.
Because I very much wanted it to come out, necessarily that he was slow, but that he was very careful with his words, and that he took his time to think of what specifically he wanted to use. But I am also terrible at picking words.
You do all
You're
right.
fine.
But
That was my only comment, was just specifically that it was slow and very one tone, that I was having a hard time following it.
might be.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah.
I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, so like doing anything with my brain is not working. Also, I'm gonna do unalive Neffy if she does
Yeah.
not stop knocking shit over behind me.
And on that note, no animals were harmed, and we're ending the stream.
Yeah, I would never actually hurt a
Yeah,
cat.
have a beautiful time. I know
I
it was
would
a
like to
short session, but we
commend-
got a late start.
Yes.
I would like to commend Alyssa for picking the one a name that has letters that Fyodor and Duca cannot say in their accent.
Whoa! I didn't even think about that.
Like a W does not exist in Russian.
So what does it sound like?
Brungvin? Would we turn it into a
You would
V?
either change it to a V, like Brongvin, or you would do it as an U, like a Brongwin.
I like
a Ger-
that.
a
Yeah, I
German
like that
saying
too.
squirrel.
It's a bro penguin.
Brongwin.
I like that. But like, so what about when she's calling it Winnie?
Uni.
What's that gonna
Uni.
sound like? Winnie?
Uni or Vin?
Oh, that's
Vin.
cute.
You have to-
Looks like
actually,
it's
there's
having a
one.
hard time.
I
There's
like
a
the
specific
uni.
vowel.
That's
There's
cute.
a specific vowel in Russian that he would actually use. It'd be, it's like it's like it's like an E, but you don't smile.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you say uni.
That's actually pretty
Mm.
cute, though. I like that.
That's adorable.
And it's
Yeah.
only a problem for y'all, because I can say it the way I want.
No, 100%.
I just like, yeah. With all of their research and all of their studying, we can't
I
say a
love that.
fucking V sound.
Sorry.
We will
Although-
be victorious.
I would like to mention that I thought it was kind of adorable that Zarkara was slightly starstruck at the dragon.
Yeah, that was cute.
Well, So yeah, to give you a little bit of her mindset, dragons are immensely powerful beings. They are an embodiment of like the primal forces of nature, and they are like the deciders of fates. Even if she doesn't fully subscribe to like all of the beliefs of her tribe, she was kind of raised on like, yeah, no, dragons are to be respected and feared and followed and listened to. And she also understands power very well. Like, this is a being that could wipe her off the face of the earth with a thought. She is going to be very deferential towards it. So all of those things combined together. But she's also incredibly unsettled because there's
It's
also
dead.
a lot of superstitions around spirits and undead in her beliefs as well. Like, if you have the wrong kind of interaction with one, it could curse you for life. So this was like a confluence of different, very stressful things for her.
Very complicated emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Good stuff. All right.
Good.
Now I actually am gonna end the stream. Seems like a good point
Okay.
to do that.
Eventually
But I wanted to
somebody in this
hear
group will
that.
start hoarding